Hello everyone, this is RaySpace here in Kerbal Space Program 1.12 with a patch for Extraplanetary Launchpads that updates two of the models and also makes it Realism Overhaul compatible. Realism Overhaul is just a set of patches for parts to make them more usable in real solar system, usually with tach life support and real fuels and that business. And so I've made a patch so that it'll be more or less workable with all of that stuff. However, I do intend to use extraplanetary launch pads with Promised Worlds, which is a mod that I recently discussed that creates another star system, and that's actually all in stock, or it could be upscaled stock, but basically you have the Stockholm system with Kerbin, and you have the Promised World system, Deb, and you can go to that other star system. And of course, if you're going all the way out to another star system, you had better have means to launch things there. And so we need extraplanetary launch pads, otherwise we'll constantly be launching stuff from Kerbin all the way out to another star system. So I do intend to use that as a way to test out extraplanetary launch pads, which means that I'm actually going to have to make the models that I made for the smelter and construction workshop work without RO. Right now, it's all an RO patch, so I'll have to undo that eventually. So what I was replacing was this old construction workshop, which looks like this, which is sort of sad looking, but it has nice rivets at least. And I've decided to replace that with this one. So with the, I mean, there's more my kind of textures. I normally use this kind, and that'll allow me to make other parts that are sort of in this motif. And yeah, it's got a little door they can come out of, and it's still got the same window sort of arrangement. Doesn't have the rivets that this had, but it has other detailing, as you can see. And yeah, it has the same functionality that the other one had, Start Workshop. And the RO patch simplifies a few things so that basically the workflow goes from the smelter to the construction workshop to the launch pad. And the way it works is that the smelter takes in hydrogen and oxygen to generate power, and takes in metallic ore, which you can drill for with an ISRU unit, and it converts that to metal and then spare clean water because fuel cells work that way. And then once you have the metal, you can take it to the construction workshop, and then you take metal and electric charge and you create rocket parts and spare parts. And then the rocket parts and spare parts go to the launch pad to make stuff. So that is the workflow, just those three parts. So I replaced the construction workshop. I also made the smelter. It's more oriented this way. And let me get rid of these delta V stats. And it deploys like that. So that's the smelter. But the good thing is that packages like this, and you can attach something. Oh, the attachment node. Well, there's an attachment node at the bottom for launcher. Maybe there should be one. Well, putting something at the top is annoying because it's got the animation. So anyway, it can attach at the bottom at its center of mass is the point, and it's not so unwieldy to launch. I will test that out though. So yeah, that's the smelter. And the original smelter, for those not familiar, looked like this. That was the original one. So I thought it needed to be changed. so now I've got my smelter. The launch pad I kept the same because it was nifty enough. That's not exactly the way I'd make it, but you know, open. It's a pad like this. It's at least sophisticated and also launchable, because it packages up like that. And it's got its own landing thrusters, which is handy. So, yeah. One thing I don't understand is that node over there. But anyway, let's not talk about that. Maybe I'll have to fix that. Another thing that I wanted to maybe change is this construction drone, because the construction drone takes the place of a construction workshop. So maybe I'll make a new version of this. But it's got these fancy beams on it. I actually don't know how to make fancy beams like that, like lightsabers, or, I mean, lasers, obviously. But, you know, so maybe we'll just leave it. But it's definitely got some texture issues, shader issues, really. So, yeah. So that's basically it. I'm just mentioning that the Extraplanetary Launchpads patch with these new models, the two I made for the smelter and the construction workshop, will be in the video description. You can just plop it in. It'll be in an EDB folder, and it'll be in a subfolder called part upgrades. So part upgrades, and that'll be the Extraplanetary Launchpads patch for RO. And we'll see about the other part. And if you have any others, I have a list of mods that I want to sort of upgrade in a way so that I can use them a little bit better. There are certain parts in KSP Interstellar that I need to do, but yeah, as much as possible, I'm going to be using a certain set of textures instead of trying to create a whole bunch of them, because otherwise the upgrades are going to take a lot of space and we don't want that. So yeah, that's why my construction workshop looks like this, because I use these textures quite a lot. Alright, and you'll see me testing the functionality of this in the Promised World series, and I'll have to make a version of it that isn't tied to RO. I'll do that soon, and I'll probably release it in the video description of one of the Promised Worlds videos. Okay, so with that little announcement, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do press like. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.